Well, I'm back with more of this man who is the greatest detective ever made, and will be ever made, I think. I don't know how the sequel's gonna work out. Um, I'm willing to continue this conversation at the place of detectiveness. There we go. What the heck is that? Well, who has hair like that? New Vegas? You on a skateboard? Woo, we're finally here. Why would they put the police department off so far away from the prosecutor's office? It's next door. Am I losing my mind? It took almost 30 minutes by taxi, and traffic wasn't even that bad. Did he not say it was next door, or did he say it was across town? I swear I read across next door. But okay. Police department, huh? Only ever been at a criminal affairs next door. Hold on, what's that? Oh my god, dude. Disturbing. Why does it mutilate or undulate like that? Oh wait, I know. This is the Blue Badger. They're trying to make him the police mascot. Wow, Mr. Wright, you sure know a lot about the police. Still, he does seem familiar somehow. Let's see. This is Capcom. I have no idea then. Forget the Blue Badger. Who's that next to him? Someone appears to be dancing with the Blue Badger. Uh-oh, he noticed me. Sure is running over here fast. Hey, pal. What are you doing here? That's my line, Detective Gumshoe. Specifically, well, what were you dancing over there? What, well? Sorry, I had an email. Unimportant. What, well? Doesn't seem to be busy. This is our chance to get information. Guess you're wondering, it was an email from an idol clicker from like 4 years ago. Yeah, I haven't touched in like 3-4 years. And I haven't unsubbed from the mailing list. I'll have you know I'm a very busy man, pal. See this? Detective, here's my attorney's badge. You show this to me every time we meet, pal. Real men show their police badge, enough said. Wish I had a badge. Even my ID card would be nice. Even an ID card would be nice. Wait. Speaking of ID cards, I found this detective card, didn't I? Detective Gumshoe? What can you tell me about this? Oh, hey, pal. This is a detective's ID card. You can't just keep that. You have to turn it into the police. It's people like you that get me into so much trouble all the time. Meaning Detective Gumshoe must drop his card a lot. Let's see. Bruce Goodman. Goodman. Sounds familiar. Yeah, my mistake. But didn't you work together with him in criminal affairs? Whoa, now I remember. Bruce Goodman. He's the victim. That's what I thought. Can you tell us more, Detective Gumshoe? Found in Mr. Edwards' car, stabbed him with Mr. Edwards' knife, huh? What would drive Chief Prosecutor Scott to do such a thing? Wait, I mean, sure, of course someone else really did it. Someone who must have had a grudge against Mr. Edwards. The car and the knife do seem a little too well organized to be coincidence. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. What could have happened? We have to find out a little more about what's going on with Edgeworth. Hey, that's it. The King of Prosecutors award that Mr. Edgeworth got yesterday. Were you at the awards ceremony, Detective Gumshoe? Of course, pal. I've gotten the award for due diligence myself. Ah, congratulations. I was wondering why is the award a shield? Don't miss the commas, they're important. And why is it broken? Oh, there's a reason. Tell you what it is later. Apparently he's forgotten. But I was proud of Mr. Edgeworth for winning that award. Even with all the naysayers in the prosecutor's office. Naysayers. Must be because of the rumors. Found in Mr. Edgeworth's car stabbed with... yeah. I will talk. Case. I'll give you one word of advice, pal. You better not agree to defend the suspect in this case. Well, why not? Huh? Well, it's just that the chief prosecutor has confessed to the crime. She says she's summoned a detective to the prosecutor's office and she killed him. What if she's not telling the truth? Yes, well... No, come on, pal. Plenty of evidence against her. What if the evidence was faked? Hey, pal. Can I speak to you for a second? Huh? Me? Why is the little girl so peeved at me? She's a relative of the suspect. She's not this guy's sister. Whoa, the chief prosecutor's little sister. Please investigate this carefully, okay? Scientifically. Yes, sir. Oh, and by the way, you don't want to keep your voice down. You don't want to be overheard using words like faked. Huh? It's a sensitive issue with us these days. So, what are you doing here, Detective Gumshoe? Me? Oh well, nothing really. Picked me out of the criminal affairs. Detective Gumshoe, what did you do this time? What do you mean this time? And what happened? I know things are busy right now. I mean, my sister's case and all. It's true. Never really had a chief prosecutor murder anyone before. Only the highest ranked people are being let into criminal affairs now. Lower ranking guys and there's our lowest ranking guy and there's the chief of detectives. They're not letting any of the us rank and file detectives in at all. None of you? I know this is an important trial, but isn't that a little odd? So anyway, I thought I'd spend the day getting the Badger dance down pat. Isn't there anything else you could be doing? Chief of Police himself was directing this investigation, pal. And Officer Marshall was assigned to the underground parking lot. Officer Marshall? And as I think about it, I might just seem to know that Marshall guy. Patrolman in charge of the crime scene. Unheard of, pal. So, if this ID card belonged to the victim, he was a detective like myself. Detective Bruce Goodman. Don't you think it's strange? I mean, why would the victim's ID card be lying on the ground where we found it? Well, Detective Goodman should have been at the police department yesterday. There was an evidence transfer for the case. He handled 2 years ago. Evidence transferal. Mr. Edwards mentioned that too. But Detective Gumshoe was killed at the prosecutor's office. Well, that's the thing. It's hard to say, though, but the word is the chief prosecutor's guy called him out there to the parking lot. The man is confessing as much. He's in the tough spot again. Again. Blast him. Well, it all started with the murder of the defense attorney, Hammond. But Mr. Edwards was found innocent. I'm dying, dude. I don't know why. Like, my throat's been killing me the last couple of days. It's got like a little spot. This is bothering me. And I should not be playing a game where I gotta read non-stop for like 3 hours. Listen, pal, there have always been rumors about Mr. Edgeworth forging evidence, making deals with witnesses. Nothing about Wright, but there were always whispered rumors. Ever since we was accused of murder, no one's whispering, they were practically shouting. But there's no evidence against him. Well, Mr. Edgeworth has always had unusually strong ties to the department higher-ups. Only natural that people would be suspicious. I had no idea he was under the gun. Anyway, the latest case has started the new rumor. People say the only reason he took the case because he's aiming for the chief prosecutor's position himself. But I know the truth, pal. Nobody wants to be the one who has to prosecute the chief prosecutor. Mr. Edgeworth was biting the bullet on this one. He's doing this for all of us. Thank you, Mr. Gumshoe. You didn't give me anything worthwhile, but thank you nonetheless. Goodbye, mate. No, don't go be goodbye. You have to examine. The Blue Badger. I was wondering about that. What? The Dancing Blue Badger? It's my masterpiece. This is the dance trying to perfect. The man just does... So he takes his left hand, right? Raises it up at like a 45-degree... Up by his head. Brings it down to like a little bit lower than half his equilibrium. Then he takes his right hand, does the same thing almost, and then he flips it past, waves his hands up and down. Oh, then he twists his right hand around like a fan, and then up and down. And then he brings the left hand only does the same thing every time. Right hand's the difficult one. You have to have a baton in one hand and a flag in the other. made this, Detective Gumshoe? Chief threw together some designs and I just did my thing, pal. Nice work. It's battery powered, so it can go anywhere. There's no switch, so it just dances and dances and dances until the battery dies. Poor Blue Badger. Waited to dance until he drops. Blue Badger panel added to the court record. A work of art designed by the Chief of Detectives and created by Detective Gumshoe. Ellipses, and that's all I know about that. I'm not officially on the case, you know. Thank you. Why aren't you handling the case, Detective Gumshoe? You met the guy who was, what was his name? The guy in the parking lot? That'd be Officer Marshall. He was appointed directly by the Chief of Police. Officer Marshall? Is some kind of Wild West sheriff or something? No, Jake Marshall is just a regular officer from West LA. Of course. For a moment there, I wasn't sure. Look, pal, let me try to make things a little easier for you. I've been missing to let you examine the crime scene. Maybe. Detective Gumshoe's letter of introduction added to the court record. Received from Detective Gumshoe allows the bearer to investigate the crime scene. I'll be surprised if this gets us anywhere. I feel like you're supposed to be there, and nobody will look at you twice, pal. I was wondering about that. What? Dancing Blue Badger's my masterpiece. Is it not the same dialogue? You made this. Yeah, well, you made that. Get out of here. There you go. The detectives in there look pretty busy. Just imagine right now, behind those doors, a police drama in action. Somehow, the thought fails to excite me. Look, that patrolman is saluting the other guy. Must be a detective. And I said, hey, you do that, your soup will get cold, buddy. That's hilarious, sir. I laughed so hard I cried. I guess he wasn't saluting, he was wiping tears from his eyes. Must be a good pair. Mr. Wright, do you know why patrol cars are painted black and white? No idea, why? Well, I think they're designed after a panda. Panda. Not that I have a scientific proof. Just a theory. Do you mind me asking how you came up with that theory? It was when I was out on the school trip. I saw a patrol car and it came to me. You had just been at the zoo, see? What about zebras? Or do they not have those at your zoo? Alright, a zebra is striped. A panda is not striped, it's just two colors. Banner here is announcing the crime-fighting campaign. My slogan. I wonder if they'll be selling fingerprint sets. I don't think that's the kind of campaign. Well, family wouldn't want to sit at home. Good for finding out who snuck into the cookie jar. Most families can figure that out without the extra help. I always get excited when I come to the police station. Why is that? This feels like I've jumped into a movie. Huh? You know, with all the police and criminals? Well, I don't know if this is all that exciting. Sure it is, look at those two officers over there. Probably talking about the latest bust. Funny, I thought they were talking about the weather. The usual one of posters are hanging up on the bulletin board. You know this face. If you do, dial 911. No, Mr. Wright, I've always thought it was kind of funny. Never seen anyone who goes like the people on the posters. They hardly even look human. She has a point. Thank you, Gumshoe. We're going back to the parking lot, please. February 22nd. The investigation is still going. I'll be getting back to the shop. Sorry, looks like I'll be stuck in this pit till the sun sleeps. See you in my dreams tonight, and then maybe. Oh, still here? Hello. Why the surprise looks? Didn't I mention? I got a boyfriend in criminal affairs too. What happened to the security guard? What's wrong, Bambina? You're looking like a doggy that's lost in its herd. That's lost its herd. Jake Marshall. Strange guy to put in charge of the crime scene. I can't slide yet. I'll examine stuff. If you want to take a close look, you'll have to deal with me first, partner. Duel at sunset, the winner leaves the loser in the dust and takes all. The blood law of the gunman. The self-jurisdiction squabbles are settled by dueling. I think one body per murder case is enough, thanks. I'm allowed in, gamer. Would you mind reading this for me? What's this? I warn you, fan letters to me go right to this platoon. Letter of introduction from Detective Gumshoe. May we investigate? Gumshoe. Oh, that old cow dog. Holding a birthday party or something? Huh? Look. Where I should say letter of introduction, it says invitation. Ah. You just miswrote it. Wait, why am I getting all defensive here? No worries, this proves it's from Detective Gumshoe. Better than a blood test. Guess I'll better let you win then. Thank you, Officer Marshall. Well, that's right, he's a patrolman, not a detective. Reminds me. Hey, wait a sec. Isn't the crime scene supposed to be handled by a detective or higher? Well, folks, clues are calling. Welcome to the old gold strike. Welcome to our gold strike. Be like the settler, strike under the lands of the unknown. Manifest destiny, let's have a hootenanny. Let's sell police investigations are like settling land. Mr. Wright, what do you say? I won't be needing this anymore? Aww. Crumpled and discarded. Skirt! B block is through there. That's where visitors park. I can see the Lunchland car over there, far in the distance. Hey, you're right. I like the cute design of the door. You can see a cartoon cow munching down on a juicy-looking steak. Another strike you was a little creepy. Don't think too deeply about it and you'll be fine. Appears to be the car where the body was found. Looks like the lock on the trunk is busted. Crime took place in the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Body was found in the trunk of my subordinate's car. What a luxury car, it just screams I have money to burn. Your prosecutors get the big bucks. 675-12-2. Is it a note of some sort? Something's written on it? Goodman. You're right. Let's see, 67S. Sorry, 12-2. Name printed on the paper above it, Goodman. Maybe it fell out of his pocket when he was killed. Well, so, what does it mean, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know? To sell for deductive reasoning? Go to Edgeworth, no, right? Mr. Edgeworth wouldn't know what this means either. Victim's memo found in the car trunk. It's a Walkman? It's a cell phone? I mean, yeah. This strap got me. It's like a Wii remote strap. Scientific analysis would suggest this belonged to the victim. Can't think of anyone else it could belong to. What's scientific about that? Should we check it out? Ah, check it out. Right, let's check it out. May I open the phone? This phone's still on. The redial screen. Redial. Mr. Wright? Those phones keep a record of all the calls you made and received. Just press the blue button to display the last number. Dude, this dude's 24 years old in the year 2001. I think he knows how to use his cell phone. Convenient, isn't it? I'm surprised you didn't know about it. Sorry to disappoint you, but even I know about things like the redial. Oh, I'm sorry. As you know, you never know with the people from your generation. Whatever, let's check this phone out. You're both millennials. Am I dying? One born in... Am I dying here? 77. Other one born in... how old was she? 16? 85? You're the same generation. Defense attorney doesn't think first, he just pushes the button. Beep. Turtles in Time? Hey, that song, I know that. Going on over there? Beep. Ah, oh, sorry. See you, partner. You pressed redial on that their phone, didn't you? Oh, well, yeah. Whose phone is this anyway? It was on the ground over there. Whose is it? Belongs to Chief Prospector Sky. What? It's my sister's? Apparently they dropped it when she was taken into custody right after the crime. Look, at the last call was made right when the murder occurred. Like she was fixing to call someone. But she only spoke for a few seconds according to this. Who did she call? No idea. Sorry, partner. I've got a question for you, partner. I heard a phone ring just now. One of those newfangled ringtones. Oh, that? Oh. Sorry, that was my phone. What? Your phone? Yeah, it's kind of strange, but someone called me right as we picked up the other phone. A wrong number. Hope you're not lying. But I shoot you for that in Texas, partner. Oh, I'm instead of the Wrath of the Lone Star Patrolman. Cell phone added to the court record. Sorry. This call made it the day of the murder. I was told it was as the murder happened. This is 3 minutes after. He was arrested on the spot. Am I dying? Not you. I want to examine. I want to examine. Is that the outline? Am I... and drawn? This rope isn't... Yep, they laid it down the outline. I would love if it was just drawn. They laid it out in the outline of the victim's body. So what? So wait, the victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on him. You've got to be the only person I know that would come to that conclusion. Well, that's that. Alright, sir. You see this? That's not what I meant to do. I can examine this, I didn't realize. This is what the back of the badge looks like. And I always thought it had a safety pin. Each badge has a number carved into it. That way you can tell which attorney it belongs to. You mean you couldn't lend your badge to anyone? Might be found out right away. Well, that's no fun. Alright. Okay. You know what, a boring strap. What's wrong with it? Everyone has different tastes, you know. Here, check out mine. It's a pink princess strap. These are hard to come by, you know. See, this series is popular as ever with the kids. I need a chance to see hers. There's no need to push this button again. What's wrong? You look like I do during finals. Never mind, it's nothing. Well, goodbye, phone. Goodbye, phone. I will talk to this cowboy. I'll present him my badge first. I see your badge. Looks pretty. Round. Our badge is a star. Lone star. Shining in the nighttime sky. Beam of light illuminating ever evildoers come to the dark night. Note to self, evildoers are weak against starlight. And that's a sheriff badge. Was that some sort of police passport? This is Detective Goodman's ID card, strangely enough. Found it in a good distance away from the crime scene. Good distance. This is a rat hole. If you want distance, get yourself to Texas. Texas. This is a tiny little crime scene in a tiny little town with tiny little evidence. I wouldn't say LA is tiny. What difference does a few yards make, compadre? Itself, if you encounter suspicious evidence, think of Texas. No better way to study than to hang out with the pros. Alright, compadre, count to 3. Huh? You gotta do that if you're gonna draw evidence on someone. That's what you do in Texas. I mean, never to visit Texas. Toy shield, just a boy well. What exactly could you shield? What exactly could you shield with that? A toy knight, maybe? Officer Marshall, didn't you have anything good to say about Mr. Edwards? don't like him, right? We got that point. No, when I was a detective, I got one of these. Let me guess. Did it have a K for King of Detectives on it? And they could use it as the same shield over and over. What to sell? Am I dying? Prosecutor's Office of Criminal Affairs is surprisingly cheap. You know it, they go on cheaper with every passing year, I'll tell you. Miles Edwards, 1712. Dated the day of the crime. Murder took place 3 minutes after Edwards parked his car. Only he was held up with a couple extra red lights. He wouldn't have been caught up on this whole affair. Perhaps. To go to show you never know what'll happen when you run out of the yellow light. Tell me this man got out of... He entered the building. He was handed the ticket. He got clocked in. Then drove to the spot. Got out of his car and was out of the parking garage in 3 minutes. Was he in a hurry? I guess he was in a hurry to get back to work, but like... Did you run? I'm at the percent. About 12 p.m. Prospectors. Bright red steed came in at the in a trot. Real slow lad. A trot. Madonna tells me the crime occurred 3 minutes later. Seems the chief prospector was lying in wait. Maybe waiting for a prince to ride in on his bright red horse. What you mean is, the killer intended to use Edward's car all along. Alright, compadre. I know. My sister's cell phone. Last time it was used was 5/18, right after Goodman was killed. Maybe she was canceling her date for the night. Why did Lana make the call? Officer Marshall, could you tell us more about the victim? Glug. Good men always die young. Remember that, partner. Would you be a little more specific? Bruce Goodman. He was a detective, right? Well. Ain't you a feisty dog there now? Detective Gumshoe was... Detective Goodman was stabbed here at 5:15. Smiling Madonna told me that tale. I think he means the witness, Miss Angela Starr. One stab to the chest, a fine piece of work. His ears, the autopsy report. Goodman's autopsy report out of the court record. Was my sister involved with the victim in any way? Funny you should mention that, Bambina. Chief Prospector Sky and Detective Goodman. Nothing in common at all. Nothing in common. They apparently worked together on a case a few years back. Nothing, so there's no motive. Goodman was a particularly gifted detective. It's one reason why he didn't do much work with the chief prospector. But my sister called the victim here on the day of the murder, right? Here to this parking lot. So it seems. Like calling an unarmed man to a shootout at high noon. I don't mean any offense, but... That's a Phoenix. I don't mean any offense, but... Officer Marshall, you're a patrolman, right? I'm a detective. You call me out, I shoot you for that in Texas. Huh? I was one of them fancy shoe detectives 2 years ago. To tell you the truth. Oh, really? Now he tells me. But you're a patrolman now, so you can't. How can you be in charge of a crime scene? Nothing gets to you. Nothing gets by you, does it, Bambina? Why am I doing like a little finger voice now? So, why are you in charge? No reason. We're just short on hands right now. I'll keep an eye out for the meantime. That's odd, though. Sasha! But Detective Gumshoe was saying he had nothing to do. Nothing important, at least. He's nothing but an old sad cow dog. I can't find his tail. I can't find... Nothing but a sad old cow dog. I can't find his tail. I'm not dying. I really am. I even went back to do like a little hotspot to it, and I... It's not worse. Maybe it's because he runs with that old Edgeworth, eh? Edgeworth. Cow dog's been kicked out of That cow dog's been kicked out of his cattle run. Order of the chief of police. But you don't realize it yet. That the gumshoe kicked out of the investigation? So there's no connection between Detective Goodman and my sister? That's correct, but there's a gold mine of evidence against her. And a prospector tomorrow, none other than Edward himself. I'm afraid your sister's fate is decided, Bambina. Many condolences. Officer Marshall. Yeah, Bambina? How can you say that? You and my sister, you were something between the cop and their sister that I don't know about? I apologize, Bambina. That must have gotten to me. Maybe it's that dry wind that's blowing through the prospector's office. Dry wind or ill will. Someone's up to something here, but who? Suspicions about Mr. Edgeworth. Been flying around for nearly 2 years now. Forged evidence and arranging testimonies, you mean? Forged evidence and arranging testimonies, you mean? He was unbeatable because he did whatever it took to win. Unbeatable, that is. Actually met you. But rumors are just rumors, aren't they? These are prosecutors we're talking about. Evidence is everything to them. If you follow the rumors about Edgeworth to their source, you'll find one person. But they're off limits. Untouchable, you might say. One person? Ooh. I hate to say this, but it's your sister, Bambina. Chief Prospector Lana Sky. What? My sister. Edgeworth couldn't wrestle all this cattle by himself. Some people load their guns with bullets. Some people load them with deals. What, you're saying Edgeworth was making deals to win trials? Where there's gunshots, there's bound to be bullets. That's what the old timers say. Big old secret hidden around here somewhere. Everyone knows it. Is that what Detective Gumshoe was taken off the case? Is that why? They target him because he was closest to Edgeworth? So, well, how are we doing, Mr. Wright? I guess we got some clues. Do an autopsy report, a note from the victim, and a cell phone. So you think we'll be okay? Well, the only thing still bothering me is that Lana is confessing to the crime. She says she did it. No problem. I can guarantee you that she's not the criminal. Oh, and by the way, Emma? Yes? I know that song your phone plays when it rings. What? No. Beat. Steel Samurai theme song, isn't it? Hey, popular TV show for kids. Phone that rang earlier wasn't mine. It was yours. At 5:18, just after the murder took place, your sister called you, didn't she, Emma? I'm sorry. Can you tell me what you talked about? She hung up right away. I see. Cell phone updated to the court record. Last call made to her sister Emma at 5:18 on the day of the murder. Oh, cut the flag. A detective is murdered. Suspect is top prosecutor of the district. Got a bad feeling about this. Like, maybe I still don't know everything that went on out here. To be continued. So when I'm looking up the if this was the DLC or not. I saw this is what has 3 investigations and 7 court cases or something like that. Or 7 investigations and 3 court cases. Maybe? Kind of forgot. One of those 2. But this is the longest one in the game. February 23rd, 9:34 a.m. District Court, defendant lobby you. And the investigation goes today, Mr. Wright. Frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. Ready to accept my fate? I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? Defense attorneys should never believe their client. Defendant is called to the trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. This guy, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there's one decisive difference between you and her. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. Gasp. How did he know? I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. First trial without a Faye helping me. Someone's going to bail me out this time. I'll be alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself. Just do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. Been 2 months, but I haven't been in the courtroom since his trial. Hope that personal feelings will not be part of this proceedings today, Mr. Wright. Well, she was the path that thing is right, regardless of what this around me might say. Judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your opening statement, please. She, Prospector Lana Skye, has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow. Much more forceful in person. The tip of the pen looks so weird to me. Like, the clicky part. It's round and it's freaking me out. Suddenly feel like confessing to everything. It's like a ball more than an actual click. However, she will now pay for her harassment with her life. It was a witness to her crime. Professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. Prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Skye, to the stand. Sorry, Star. The cough up queen? Haven't I seen you somewhere? You order the caviar lunch, right? Oh ho, caviar. I've never eaten caviar before. They're just really wolfing it down. For you, I have the Fiesta Bowl. Thanks. Would the witness state her name and profession? You, sir. Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? Too early for lunch? It's too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor. How does it taste? This is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Oh, name, profession, now. Me, the name is Angel Star. Don't go forgetting it. Find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. Prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, Mr. Edgeworth has said in the court, I am a professional. What does that mean? So 2 years ago, Miss Angel Star was a special investigator with the police. First-rate homicide detective. Right? Miss Star was a detective? Oh, I know who you are. Cough up. Call up Queen Angel Star, Your Honor. Long time no see. Very well, you may continue with the description, Miss Star. Who is this lady? I may have the court's attention over here. Parking lot at the prosecutor's office. I'm dying. Is divided into 2 blocks. A block for the prosecutor's office personnel, and B block is for the visitors and clients. Chain divider separates the 2 blocks. Suppose best to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor's space, right? Crime took place by a car in the back of A block. The car's trunk. Killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness and the arrest was made on the spot. Then who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. Parking lot with Edward's car. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. Seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright, can agree on the principle, Your Honor. On principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your words, Miss Starr. What are they talking about? Wait, are they talking about me? It's gonna be time-based, probably. Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Though through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to the garbage car. To a garbage car. Chief prosecutor is holding a knife in her right hand, and she thrusts the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Isn't her right hand wounded? Bring a lunchbox to your boyfriend? How touching. Humph. As you can see, there's no room for doubt. Key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed at Detective Goodman. So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I am still thinking about that. Merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright? Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Tell me more about this knife that was the suspect. Sorry. Tell me more about the knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all. Yes, that's about right. Prosecutors are by nature well-versed in the location of the man's vital organs. Sure, it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. I was more interested about the hand that was being used. You can testify as to her ability to kill an egg, I mean in person. Perhaps the chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor. The defendant was holding a knife. What then? Back to the beginning then. I wanted to go backwards, not forward. Let's go ahead and hear everything. How did you know that the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime? Yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. One's lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Given that they are used to erase inconvenient evidence at their whim, killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I feel that I had found my dream job when I became investigator, and if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. I said I'm a pro. As you know, my testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well. You may continue, Miss Starr. His boyfriend? He's the detective? Not that boyfriend. Security guard. That boyfriend. You have several? Yes. His boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Here to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for for applicants. I'll stick with the lunches, thanks. This is self the judge has to think before replying. Security guard room is in the lot in A block. Up on the second level so you can see everything from there. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Because I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. You sensed something? So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like... How would you say? Oh yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. What? I have no idea what that means. Speaking of the detective's intuition. Wasn't the victim, Mr. Bruce Goodman, also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese. Young cheese. Pale white cheese, not yet tangy, with experience on the streets, a greenhorn. Then it must be hard. Yellowed and sharp as a tack. Sorry. Yes, with the odor of an old cheese to match. In any case, there are a lot I felt something staring in the back of my mind. Like Gar's car, you mean? Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Mr. Edgeworth's? Incidentally, the knife was, with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's, wasn't it? Indeed it was. What an odd case this is, and the person you saw, you were sure it was the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I'm certain it was her. She's telling the truth, we're new. Let's just do what we can, even if we don't have any proof. Always nitpick. That's what we're doing. Witness, in your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms, ergo, you were a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh? Rookie. Unless you were willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. Oh, the hair flick. A froggy-looking fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was surprising. I do gotta change batteries, and it might bug out where I have to restart my entire console. So, I'll give it like 10 minutes and then I'll do that. If it DCs, I gotta restart, and that's fine. It'll be like a 5-10 minute thing. I'll walk away. Especially the old legs. I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism. Maybe regulated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. A photograph? Took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap, I took the picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera. It doesn't seem like it's legal. Sell food with cameras in it? Suppose you're, that's more exciting than just hanging it, around your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Maybe dead. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs. Well, it's most certainly the defendant. Crime photo added to the court record. That's, mistakably, Lena Sky. So what was the defendant doing at the time? Chief Prospector was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into the woman's chest. Alright. Tell the court why you didn't try to stop the crime. New Hulk Moon stuff? You did see her raise a knife to strike, no? Defense is a point. Fortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late. Yes. The next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only a flesh. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing here. Anything I missed? I don't think so. This is the multiple boyfriends thing, that's right. It says suppress, that's what I was doing, but I feel like I did everything. Gar's car, yeah. The knife. I think the picture is definitely what I gotta base this off of, what I press. And you witnessed this? You saw this guy stab the victim with a knife? I've already said yes. Thank you for the ketchup rice, salmon swirl. Sure, that is a fine lunch. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. It's the photograph you took at the very moment after the crime, is it not? Why is this guy not holding a knife? Ahem. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. Had to be the weakest objection I've ever, Edgeworth. And it was still stronger than your ever feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. Taken the moment after the stabbing. There was blood on it. How can you tell that? Blood splatter? Huh? Dark crimson stains in the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photograph. Yes, it's hard to tell, but there's gonna be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem, except you. Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse? You got a better idea? Objection. Yo, Whiz Press. Here's what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it? You run out of lunch, you order seconds, problem solved. You don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice, I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. Didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was premeditated murder. Objection. Premeditated. How did you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hand in the photograph. Well? Are those gloves? Surgical gloves made out of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? I mean, she hiding the wound in her hand? I don't know. Isn't that premeditated? She would not have been wearing those gloves. Argue? Gloves do seem to tell premeditation. Premeditated murder, serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves? Objection. Gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. Rubber gloves are the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, he came to do the murder. The only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned, it was a premeditated crime. Arg. Impressive, I'm sorry they took you off the force, Mr. Starr. This is bad. Got them all thinking this was all planned. If you can prove this claim, the trial's already over. Gotta think of a way to show that this wasn't premeditated. Only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Yeah. Can I examine the picture at all? No, okay. I doubt it's a cell phone. Murder was planned, the rubber let's prove it. No correlation. ID, it was dropped somewhere. Which is interesting, but like, I don't see that being relevant. It's not relevant? But it was planned, then why would I don't know. Should we just assume the knife was going to be in the trunk of the car? Witness, do you know what this is? You're trying to test me? I sell boxed lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was used in Mr. Edwards' trunk. Indeed, it was my knife. What's with this case? Bloody murder weapon, a red car, all belonging to the prosecutor there. The defendant and the chief prosecutor for the district, right? Mother, are those prosecutors bad people? The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. Was that rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Atlanta Sky planned the murder. That when she was wearing those special gloves, seems like a natural conclusion to me. Gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? Oh. The knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. Wow. Direct hit. Critical attack. Order, order. Right now, this tide is turning in our favor. Ratio, Mr. Wright. This is as good as free. No, no, no. Right. I believe the next lunch you'd be eating is humble pie. What? Hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. This shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Bah. Prosecution could care less if it's premeditated or not. Only the one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Atlanta Sky, murdered the detective with a knife. But the only thing... This is the only thing that prosecution needs to prove, nothing else. Well, it does depend on the sentencing. If it's premeditated or not. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing? I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please tell us only what you saw and not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now? I'm gonna take a minute. Change the batteries. And if I have to restart, I gotta restart. Oh, I'll save this right here and get back in just a minute.